Lightfall launch is rapidly approaching, and that means we are getting less and less time to prep for day one, and certain things are going into their last week of availability. This week, we see the last farmable rotation for both the Duality Dungeon, as well as the Vow of the Disciple raid, meaning it is the last chance to farm and get the perfect rolls and as many red borders as possible before Lightfall, and these activities both have some very strong weapons that you need to pick up. Before I get into this video, a like and subscription would mean the world to me and help me out a ton. Now let's get right into it. I'm going to start out with the Duality Dungeon, which contains a few weapons you definitely need to have in your arsenal leading up to Lightfall. I'm going to go in order of encounters for the weapons that you need to pick up and what roles you need to chase down. The first encounter in the dungeon, the Sorrow Bearer, drops both the Epicurean Fusion Rifle and the Lingering Dread Special Grenade Launcher. Lingering Dread is a weapon I highly recommend going for, with the role of Blinding Nades and Spike if you are lucky enough, and then either Auto-Loading Holster or Ambitious Assassin in the third column, and then Chill Clip in the fourth, due to Chill Clip being a perk that will be able to stun any champion in the game when paired with the Radiant buff. You could also go after Vorpal or Danger Zone in the fourth column if you aren't too keen on Chill Clip. The second counter, the Vault encounter, drops the Unforgiven SMG and the Storm Chaser 3-round burst linear fusion rifle. I would honestly recommend going for a solid roll on both of these. Even with the linear nerf coming in Lightfall, I still believe that linears will be viable. For Unforgiven, I would recommend going for Demolitionist in the third row, and then Repulsor Brace in the fourth. However, Golden Tricorn or Frenzy would also work there. This weapon does have access to the role of Adrenaline Junkie and Demolitionist as well, if that suits your fancy. For Storm Chaser, Clown Cartridge, Auto-Loading Holster, or Rapid Hit in the third column paired with Firing Line or Frenzy would be perfect. The final boss, Callus's Greatest Shame, drops everything that was in the previous encounters alongside the new Purpose Pulse Rifle, Fixed Odds LMG, and the exotic sword Heart Shadow. None of these weapons are incredibly important for you to pick up in my opinion, but if you want to grind for those, then feel free to. I would honestly recommend farming both the first and second encounter for the most efficient farm here. Now when it comes to the Vow of the Disciple raid, there are a few more weapons that are definitely worth grinding out the red borders for, which you will need a total of 5 for each weapon in order to craft them. The first encounter acquisition drops the Submission SMG, the Deliverance Fusion Rifle, and the Cataclysmic Linear Fusion Rifle. All three of these weapons are 100% worth grinding out. For Submission, Overflow and Frenzy is definitely the PvE role you want, and it is also incredible for PvP with Perpetual Motion and Killing Wind. For Deliverance, Demolitionist and Chill Clip is what you want there, again due to how strong Chill Clip will be in Lightfall for stunning champions. And then for Cataclysmic, 4 times the charm and Bait and Switch is absolutely what you want, with this being arguably the strongest linear fusion rifle in the game. Caretaker, the second encounter, drops Submission, the Insidious Pulse Rifle, Cataclysmic, and the Forbearance Waveframe. You have to get yourself a Forbearance with Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction, as it is without a doubt one of the strongest legendary weapons in the game at the moment. Insidious is also a solid pulse rifle. If you want to go with the role of Rapid Hit in One for All, you'll be solid. This weapon also does get that Adrenaline Junkie and Demolitionist role, which is a strong grenade build role, so go for that if you'd like. Exhibition is the third encounter, which drops Submission and Deliverance. And then the final boss, Rulk, drops everything in the raid, plus the legendary glaive, Lubre's Ruin. Since there is now a better solar glaive in the game with Judgment of Kelgaroth, I wouldn't recommend going for that one. For the most efficient farming, I would go with doing Acquisition and Caretaker, since they are the quicker of the encounters. I would also recommend you do at least one full raid with a Rulk kill, and the red border symbol chest, so you are guaranteed your 2 red borders for the week. That's going to do it for the video. If you want to check out some more of my content, you can find me on Twitch, where I try and help people get these exact weapons, as well as GMs and more. You can also find shorter form content of mine over on TikTok. Both will be linked in the description. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and good luck farming. See you guys in the next one. Peace.